they're confirmed by a spotter or law enforcement, or if they're Doppler indicated, and that helps us out as far as our coverage goes. But boy, still several areas of intense rotation.
Yeah, we got this one west of Onondaga right now. Again, that one, a lot of farm fields there, but still, I mean, we're going to keep an eye on that anyway. And then one that's even a little more impressive is moving northeast of Marshall right now, and that continues to move northeast as well. Eventually, these will all have to move across 127 as well. So, yeah, the one that's near Onondaga right now, that could be heading toward the Mason area in not too long from now.
Let's, all right, we got video from, where is this from, Sean? From Harper Road to Mason. Looks like a wall cloud. What do you guys think? That's what it looks like to me. Pretty good lowering. It's almost on the ground.
It's hard to tell with the trees right there.
That's the thing about Michigan, is there's so many trees. Once you're right up next to it, it is hard to tell if you got a tornado on the ground or not.
It's close.
Sean, if you get the news tips, there's another video that just came in there that's really impressive as well. If we can get that in there as well. Okay, and we just got a report. Someone listening to us out of Okemos saying they saw a small tornado. So potentially a small tornado passed through the Okemos area. We'll get, of course, more reports. If there was one, there'll be a few more trees down, some minor things like that. But we appreciate everyone who's kind of feeding us information this afternoon. Sean, where is this other video? You said you don't know where this other video is exactly from. Okay, just more damage. We don't have a location on this. It's just in West Michigan. That's all we know. So this is the initial storms that came through. We had tornado warnings in Ionia County, and then, of course, Calhoun County.
One damage-related note is that you may be inclined to go out and kind of look for damage at this point, but we're hearing the rain pour down in the studios. There's probably a lot of street flooding in the area right now. Another
thing too is you sometimes don't see a down power line, and those can still be live. So stay far, far, far away from down power lines. If you're going to take a picture, please do it safely. I don't want to hear about anybody electrocuted or any type of injury from trying to take pictures of tornadoes or storms. But oh boy, look at that last image to the south here. We just got another picture in, I believe, Jim. This is a possible tornado, they're saying. Could be.
Yeah, it's close to the ground.
Sean, if you can get those on the Air Force, just let me know when they're ready. This looks like a couple of tornado pics or wall cloud. I'm not really sure which it is. Let's see, this is from, does it say?
This is Eaton Rapids.
Go ahead, Sean. Oh, this is the video we just got in. Where is this? Where was this from again? From Bellevue. Now look at that. That is a very large wall cloud with this particular storm, and this is from Bellevue. And potentially, we know that it was producing a tornado somewhere around there. It is really difficult to tell because it is a pretty good distance away. But boy, that wall cloud is just literally sitting on the ground.
It's on the ground.
You see it, Jim?
Yeah, it's on the ground.
All right, Jim says he can see the tornado on the ground.
I just got another video on Facebook.
Right,
we're going to try to get on air from Eaton Rapids that certainly shows what appears to be a tornado on the ground.
So several videos now coming in of tornadoes on the ground out of the viewing area. Thanks to everyone who's submitting those. Right now, of areas of most concern, while we're ingesting a little more video and pictures, out of the Perry area, you still want to be in your safe area. Let me storm track this for you. Out of Perry, heading to the north and east at about 45 miles per hour. Morris over you at 6:30, Bancroft by 6:38 this evening. Other areas of interest that need to pay special attention and tornado warnings in Lansing. I think we're just dealing with heavy rain and some gusty winds. Further to the south, we got to watch out around Onondaga and Eaton Rapids. This is not classic tornado look to me, but it does look like an area that could rapidly intensify. So I think this is one area we want to watch as well. We track this to the north and east. Should be by Mason by around 6:44. So city limits by 6:44 as well. Further to the south, another cell. And this one is probably one of the more impressive cells we've got right now. This is just to the northwest of Albion. This is tracking to the north and east. We'll be in Devereaux by 6:30, Springport by 6:34, Onondaga by 6:45 this evening, and the Dragway by 6:48 this evening. So that's, you know, the areas of most interest currently, about 4 or 5 different spots that we're keeping a very close eye on.
Some of them are still keeping up as far as the intensity of them as well. In fact, from time to time, I guess maybe they're just pulsing or something, but from time to time they've gotten very bright and they ease back a little bit. So we're still going to watch them one way or another, because there is the possibility of these dropping down, and we'd have another tornado to worry about.
You know, Jim, you mentioned a minute ago, because I've noticed the past couple days we've had some issues with folks hydroplaning because of the rainfall intensity. So I just wanted to point out, along the 96 and 127 interchange currently, the rainfall rate is about 2.5 inches per hour. That's more than a road can, and you can very quickly lose control of your car. So as you approach some of this heavy rainfall, just please slow down, 2 hands on the wheel, take it slow, because this kind of rain can be dangerous coming down this hard and this heavy.
Yeah, we had so many accidents over the past 24 to 48 hours with this heavy rain. And yeah, we saw some of the submerged cars over in the Detroit area. We have some low spots here as well. I always think of Potter Park Zoo, where there's a big dip there.
Yeah, always floods.
Yep.
Our rotation continues to look very impressive for a couple of these cells. The one that's moving towards the Morris area needs to be watched just south of Morris. I think it'll pass just to your south. And then the other 2 cells that we have to keep a close eye on are going to be the ones now moving into southwestern Ingham County. It's very close to Onondaga. It's not something to me that looks like, oh boy, this has to be producing a tornado, but it does look like a storm that could strengthen and produce one. This cell could be producing a tornado. The rotation's very tight. You can see, let me point this out and illustrate. The green is kind of like one little small circle of green, and there's a little concentrated area of red. They're very close to each other. So that to me is an area that, okay, this storm has a strong updraft. It's probably spinning, and it is, and it's doing so at, you know, close to 70 miles per hour, which we know is a little bit of an underestimation when it comes to radar. So the rotation in there is very strong, no doubt about it.
And again, there's still a little bit more to the south too, but keeping an eye on. Not as impressive as some of the ones that are in our area right now, but again, if those continue to move to the northeast, we'll be keeping an eye on that as well.
Here's a recap of some of the warnings we have, the tornado warnings. For Calhoun, Eaton, Ingham, and Jackson counties, a tornado warning is in effect until 7:15 this evening. We also have a tornado warning still in effect for portions of Shiawassee County until 7 o'clock this evening. To the south, as you get into Jackson County, well, that warning is in effect until 7:15. So lots of tornado warnings out there, lots of areas of rotation. Special thanks to one of our operations folks here, all of them. Sean is one of those. And Sean, did you get those other pics that came in? If you did, let's pop those up if you get a chance. Okay, he's downloading those right now. Okay. Sean says he's got some damage from Lake Odessa. Notice what's happening to our southwest. You guessed it, more storms are forming. Let's just take a quick look at those, because are we out of the woods once this line moves through? We go back to our velocity product, and there doesn't appear to be any rotation in there. None that I can see anyway, so that particular line doesn't look nearly as troublesome to me. Just these main areas that we have to get through, and I think once we get through that, then we'll be back in fairly good shape. That cell is too far from the Jackson cam to make it out, so I don't think there's any point in bringing up the Jackson cam. Sean, or not Sean, pardon me, Blake, if you can just kind of rotate the Jackson cam, just make sure you can't see anything. I think it's too far away, but let's just give that a check and make sure.
We've got a replacement tornado warning for Ingham. It sounds like they were talking about kind of reissuing it, and it sounds like it now goes till 7 o'clock. And that radar indicated.
Yep, there it comes, just popped up. So let's bring up that tornado warning and let you know what time that is until. If you live in Grand Ledge, west side of Lansing, Charlotte, Potterville, you're in the clear as far as tornado warnings go right now. New tornado warning is now in effect for Calhoun, Eaton. Well, that's just a sliver of southeastern Eaton County. And Jackson County until 7:15. So that is our new tornado warning that's in effect. The reason it's such a large area, normally tornado warnings are much smaller, but there's just too many little pockets of circulation. And we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, about to rotate into Jackson and Ingham counties.
Yeah, we only had the one that was an individual cell out ahead of this line, which just has spin after spin on it. So the first one, pretty easy for us anyway to follow it as it moved northeastward. After this, again, we just have these continuous ones, one right after another on the leading edge of this line of showers and thunderstorms.
Let's take a look at some of those pictures that came in a few moments ago. And this is storm damage from the Lake Odessa area, I'm told, and looks like pretty significant damage. Wow, this looks like a barn maybe destroyed there. Hard to say for sure. That's kind of what it looks like, but a lot of damage. And there's another shot of significant damage from the Lake Odessa area. So Ionia County being hit very hard today, it looks like.
Hey, speaking of flooding, just a note from the Ingham County Emergency Manager, Grand River west of Okemos Road is now flooded and impassable at this time.
Say that again for everyone at home.
Yeah, in Meridian Township, Grand River west of Okemos Road is now flooded and impassable.
Okay, so you know, until this rain passes, probably the best advice is if you're planning on heading out, let's give it an hour or two and let some of these floodwaters recede. We just had so much rain lately. The roads really can't handle a whole lot, and better to be safe than sorry. So now we've got one road closed because of that intense rainfall and flooding. Back to the radar we go. Let's update you on areas of concern and where I think people need to be in their safe areas. First area of concern is going to be coming into southwestern sections of Ingham County. I'm going to storm track the rotation. This is between Onondaga and Eaton Rapids, moving to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. Should be in Mason by 6:45, and city limits, that isn't the bowling alley city limits, is it? I think that could be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've been there before. City limits by 6:45 this evening, so a couple of areas that you certainly all know. As we zoom down to the south just a bit, this next area of concern is just to the south and east of Springport. And as that's moving to the north and east, it's going to be some of the same areas. Onondaga by 6:43, Leslie by 6:50, and Dansville by 7:02. Rotation will move overhead, potentially producing a tornado. One last area of concern, and that is just to the east of Marshall. That is moving also to the northeast. Same areas again could be impacted. Devereaux by 6:43, Onondaga by 6:58, Rives Junction by 7 o'clock, and Leslie again by 7:05. So multiple areas of rotation moving over some familiar spots by this point. Looks like, that looks okay. Thought I saw a little more rotation.
I know, I looked at down to the south there on 69, I know, another one.
We've got power lines down just outside of Potterville. Julie just sent me a message, so just reiterating the fact that now is not a good time to go out and see what's out there.
Great advice. No need to go out and venture out. You know, if you look out your window and you can snap a picture, great, but don't go driving around looking for damage, because if you run over a power line or something, the outcome is not good. We want you to be safe, and so stay inside and let these storms pass so we can kind of ascertain what's happened. But that was, you said that was very close to Potterville, correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right, so damage around the Potterville area this afternoon. Let's see. Okay, that was the one from the Okemos area. Just reading some more emails, and it looks like someone reported again that potential small tornado in the Okemos area.
I was looking at Max 2 here. That's the line of those thunderstorms that are moving through, and while there isn't a lot of lightning with it, it is still lined up and heading, I'd say, from about Durand right down to just south of the East Lansing area and all the way down toward Marshall. So again, there still are lightnings with this line of thunderstorms as they go through. Not a whole lot, but it doesn't have to be a whole lot either too. So yeah, there's another reason not to go out right now either.
Right.
There still is lightning out there.
Here's a look at our watches that we have in effect. Tornado watch will remain in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for Ingham, Eaton, Clinton County, basically along and north of the Jackson area. That is where the tornado watch is in effect until 8 o'clock. And then as you look to the northwest of that, looks like we may have some new video coming in here, Sean. I'm going to pop that up while we're, let's, Sean, if you can get that newest video that came in.
Looks like just a it's nothing definitive in terms of a tornado from what
Oh,
I'm seeing.
yeah, for sure not. This could be maybe. I mean, that could be a wall cloud, but I'm not sure that it is. Could be a roll cloud or shelf cloud, something like that. Either way, it looks pretty nasty.
Yeah, and even a wall cloud can get pretty close to the ground too, like that one did.
Oh, this is really Sean. There's another bit of video that just came in. Where is this from?
Charlotte. Holy
From
cow,
Charlotte.
that is
a lot of flooding. Let's
Yep.
get that video ready and get it up. So we want to point out some of the dangers of driving out in the flooded roadways. Back to the radar I'll go. So areas that have seen heavy rain will likely see more, and you see what is happening to our southwest.
Yep, I was just about to say that.
Even though this doesn't look like necessarily, although let me inspect.
There
one
is a
more time.
tornado, or was a tornado warning on that earlier.
All right, they've got some severes right now.
Yeah.
So mostly severe thunderstorm warnings. Even though there is not a lot of severe activity in terms of tornado warnings happening, this is more heavy rainfall that's going to be coming in. So this is going to exacerbate the flooding situation.
One interesting note is I talked about this morning during the morning news that if we saw sunshine, our chances of severe typically go up, and there's some clearing going on behind this first line, especially down near Benton Harbor to Kalamazoo. So we'll have to continue to watch that second line as it gets closer.
Certainly will. Let's see. I download. There's a movie coming in, some video of storm damage. Let's go back to our areas of rotation, get everybody updated if you live in the path of these storms. We've got pretty good rotation right now, just to right around Onondaga and just to the east of Onondaga, and then just south of Springport. Not terribly organized, but not too bad. And what do you think? The Albion rotation doesn't look quite as good as it did.
Not as much. If anything, it's to the northwest area of it. But yeah, it's there, but I'm sure there's quite a bit of wind underneath it, but
Right.
it just doesn't look like it's got a rotation.
All right, we've got some flooding video to show you out of Charlotte now. Take a look at this. This is,
Wow.
the streets have just turned into rivers.
That's what Detroit looked like last night, and now we're getting into some of that.
Yeah, tremendous flooding last night in Detroit. Water rescues. Already one water rescue in Clinton County today. So, yeah, this is why we're saying just don't venture out. We certainly appreciate that video showing the magnitude of the heavy rainfall in addition to the threat for tornadoes.
Just one quick programming note from the Weather Service in Grand Rapids. They are holding on to the tornado watch even for counties where the storms have already passed through to watch that activity that's headed in our direction. So for now, tornado watch remains in effect even for areas that the storms have passed through.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Tornado video?
I got
Okay,
a video
let's-
in from Jeremy in, I believe it was Eaton Rapids. I'm going to have to double check that.
take a look at it.
He moves.
Looks like, you certainly see what looks like a wall cloud.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, if you go back to the beginning, it's a
see it.
little
Oh,
bit-
there it is,
yeah,
right
it's over-
there.
right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's in Eaton Rapids. That's from Jeremy Confer at 5:30 p.m. in his backyard.
So another video confirmation of a tornado today.
It's a good shot right there. Thank you to Jeremy for
Yeah.
sending that my way.
There was
Really
that
appreciate that.
rotation, wide rotation,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden there it is.
Yeah, the wall cloud, I mean, the entire storm is rotating, but then the wall cloud rotates a little bit faster, drops out a little underneath the parent thunderstorm. And then, of course, the tornado is the violently rotating column of air, which we typically expect to see when you're talking about tornadoes.